Hi, I'm Carla Page, and welcome to my program. Thank you so much for watching. This show is going to be out of this world. I've got an author here with me, originally from Glens Falls, New York. Now, this particular show is going global, all around the world. This one is. Now, this gentleman here has a lot to tell us, and he's got a lot to share, and he's going to help and heal us because his story is one of those that's incredible. His name is Scott Crisci.
That's correct, John.
All right. And I met him several months ago, and right away I wanted to do a television interview with him. So get on the phone and call everyone you know and let them know that we're on, because this is a show that you're not going to want to miss. Hi, Scott.
Good morning, Carla. How are you?
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You look sharp.
Thank you. Nice to dress up for once.
Yeah, you look sharp, real sharp. So the name of your book, we're going to jump right in because this is going to have to be part one because there's a lot of information about you. The name of your book is entitled Surviving Las Vegas.
Yes, ma'am.
Even though you are from
Glens Falls, New York.
Glens Falls, and we're videotaping this in the Capital District, which is Schenectady, Albany, Troy, but you're from up about an hour or more from here.
Yeah, about 60 miles.
Where you're originally from.
Yeah.
So I want to know, who are you? Who is Scott? Tell us who you are.
I'm a lot of things. I've been a high-limit blackjack dealer. I've been a real estate agent. I've been director of marketing and sales for my family's company in Las Vegas. And now I'm an author. So I'm numerous things, plus all the things I do on the side, too.
So you wanted to go to Las Vegas from Glens Falls. Why?
Well, my parents unfortunately divorced when I was young, and then my stepdad and my mom raised me. And when I was 14 years old, they decided to move to Las Vegas. So it was a good opportunity for them financially because at that time, Las Vegas was booming. So my stepdad was a teacher and owned a construction company, and my mother was a nurse. So unfortunately for me, ninth grade wasn't the best year to go because everyone had their little cliques, and it was difficult for the first couple of years. But eventually I adjusted and ended up loving it. So.
Okay, so things about Las Vegas that you heard about, was it like that when you got there? Because, we hear these things about places and we get these conceptions.
Yeah, I mean, you think of Las Vegas, you think of the shows, the Strip. I was a huge college basketball fan, so I knew Jerry Tarkanian was at the UNLV. And we used to go to the games every week. We had season tickets, so we were very fortunate and blessed to do that. But, yeah, I mean, when you think of Las Vegas, most people think of the Strip. But if you're a local, you don't even go near the Strip because it's first of all, it's 30 minutes away, and everything's very, very high priced and stuff. So you kind of stay away from that kind of stuff. So,
okay.
But like we go to dinner, we go to movies, just like a normal life, just like anybody here. So,
So more about Surviving Las Vegas. What made you come up with that title?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a survivor. I've had multiple sclerosis for 30 years, ulcerative colitis for 30 years. I have a colostomy bag. I have a hip replacement, COVID survivor, 2-time sepsis survivor. I'm God's warrior. So I'm a survivor, number one. But being from Las Vegas, I thought it would be catchy in the title. If someone would want to pick it up at a news station or book in the airport. So I thought that would be catchy, the two terms together. So that's inevitably why we did it.
So you wrote this book when?
2021 was published, March of 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you published it yourself?
I self-published. I also used Page Publishing. Shout out to them. They were amazing, Nicole Reefer, and they did a phenomenal job. But yeah, I actually self-published, but Page Publishing was my publisher.
So when you were coming up as a young boy, what beliefs did you hear? What did you feel about how life could be when you were a boy growing up in Glens Falls?
Well, my parents were very, very strict, which is a good thing. My stepdad was probably a little too strict, but I turned out very, very well. But, drugs are for losers, and go to school and do all the right things in life. And they instilled the integrity that I have today. So it was a good childhood.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So how long is Surviving Las Vegas? How many pages?
125 pages.
125. Yeah. Okay. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. I really am. And right when I first met you, when you told me that you were an author, and I like to have authors on my show anyway, and the fact that you have that local tie-in here was really meant a lot to me.
Yeah,
to
it's
have
unique.
you,
Yeah.
to have you here.
Thank you.
So when you started the book, what was it about in the beginning? When you first opened the book, what's it about?
Well, when I first started writing the book, I didn't know what I wanted to do. All I knew what I wanted to do was tell my story because I'd been through so many things, but also to help people. I talked in the book about mental illness. I tried to kill myself through suicide in 2010. That was a very dumb thing to do, but I learned from it. Life's a learning experience, and it's a journey. We all make mistakes. But the book actually starts out in my 20s because I was at UNLV at the time, going to college. And it was an amazing time in my life because UNLV was top 10 in the country in basketball. And Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon, all those NBA players were in my classes. So it was a lot of fun. But that was the year actually I found out I had ulcerative colitis and I was bleeding rectally. And that's how I found out about it. So,
So the stuff that you were saying that you had, is that hereditary, or is that something you can just talk to us
Sure.
that you can catch?
Internally, no one in my family had that type of disease. However, my grandmother on my mother's side did have some sort of abdominal and stomach issues. She had half of her stomach removed in her 50s or 60s. So genetically, I've done a lot of research on it. I had a kind of a tough childhood. Usually it's caused from childhood trauma. But unfortunately, it is what it is, and you got to keep moving forward. So
Yes, sure. So did you have coming up, I just want to go back to your boyhood just a little bit more.
Sure.
Because that does pave our way for what, again, this is part one and we will do another.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about a lot of things.
Thank you.
And I find you intriguing. I really do.
Thank you.
So when you were a boy in Glens Falls, did you have any teachers or old bosses or neighbors or any of your family that were encouraging or said something to you that got you thinking you could do anything?
Yeah, a lot of my old coaches, specifically by name, I can't remember a lot of their names, but because I played baseball, football, and basketball, and actually had an ice rink in my backyard. I played hockey every day. So we used to fight, and it really toughened me up growing up. So, yeah, I think a lot of my youth kind of molded me from my adulthood, so it was really important to me.
Okay. Had you written anything before you wrote this book?
Nope. Like I said, I just started journaling, and
Journaling?
Yeah, I wanted to.
When did you start journaling?
Probably 4 or 5 years before I wrote my book.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that something you would encourage people to do if they wanted to be a writer? Start to journal first?
Oh, definitely. It gives you good exercises to learn how to write, and then start to enjoy writing and tell your story. Everyone has a story.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. If you're just tuning in, I'm Carla Page, and I'm very honored and happy to have as my guest this week, part one, with Mr. Scott Crisci.
Yes.
He's from Glens Falls. The name of his book is entitled Surviving Las Vegas. Write it down, Surviving Las Vegas. That's where he is living. He's here now, but he's going back. And I'm so happy I'm getting the opportunity to have him with me today. And also his dad is here, Chris. His dad I just met. Hi, Chris.
How are you, Carla?
Chris brought Scott here today to the studio, so I have to give my acknowledgement. Shout out to you. So when I say the name of your book, how does that make you feel that you wrote it? You're the author. It's your book you wrote. When I say we have a guest today, how do you feel when I say that?
It's kind of set in now, but when I first was an author, I was really excited, and we got published because I've never met an author. It's just even the book isn't very long. It's my first book. My second book's going to be longer, but it gave me good exercises to learn how to be an author and how to publish things. And the whole writing is a different mindset. I learned so many things about writing and publishing through other people. So, Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so where can we find the book? Let's just stop right now in our tracks and let people know where they can get it before we go on.
Okay, thank you. The book is on Amazon.com. It's on BarnesandNoble.com. And it's also sold to Walmart.com. So those are primarily the three places. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Yeah. Very, very good. Yeah. Wow. So when you were, again, coming up, how did the children treat you? Did they know that your health wasn't like theirs? How did they treat you?
In my 20s, kids can be cruel. Even today, they can be cruel. Bullying, everything that's going on in society these days. Unfortunately, there was some bad rumors in Las Vegas because I had lost like 50, 60 pounds when I had ulcerative colitis. I really couldn't eat anything for a couple of years and was basically just working and eating chicken noodle soup and sucking an ice cube from 21 to 23 years old. So there was rumors, unfortunately, that I had AIDS, which is pretty horrible. I mean, it wasn't true at all. And it was really hurtful, really hurtful. But, you got to keep moving forward. Like I said, be optimistic and firm belief in God and just keep going forward.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes. How many siblings do you have?
Well, I had none until I got here, but now I have 5. Yeah.
You have 5.
Yeah. I have 5 stepbrothers and sisters, and they're amazing people. And got a great, amazing biological dad I'm very close to, and a 99-year-old grandmother. I can't wait till next year. It's her 100th birthday. We're going to have a big party for her. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That is. Gee, that is something. That is 99.
Yeah. She's an amazing lady.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So do you mind giving your age?
No, I'm 53. I'll be 54 in June.
In June,
Yeah.
okay. June what?
June 10th.
June 10th, okay. All right. And are you married?
No, I'm divorced and no kids. And like I said, moving forward in the future, helping people and doing charity work is kind of what I want to do the rest of my life. So.
I strongly agree with you. Now, because you had so many a lot of ailments.
Sure.
And weren't they compounded back to back to back?
Yeah, I mean, 23 years old, you find out you have ulcerative colitis, and then you got to have surgery at UCLA to save your life. Was pretty traumatic, At that time, I had a colostomy bag for 3 months, and they went and rehooked me up. They do it's called an ileoanal pull-through in the J pouch, where they reshape the bottom portion of your small intestine, and that serves as your large intestine. Well, they did that. Well, in the meantime, it's got to heal. So you have a colostomy bag for 3 months, and they go back and they hook you up. And that lasted for 15 years before it started giving me problems. But my point was, so when I was 23, when I was 27, I got multiple sclerosis. And that was very, very detrimental to me. I mean, just mentally and physically, you think wheelchair, you think death. I didn't know nothing about the disease at that time. And since then, I've done a lot of studying and vitamins, supplements, exercising. There's a million things you can do to help yourself. And for a couple of years, I didn't handle it well. I was drinking, gambling, womanizing, fighting. I wanted to die. I was hoping somebody would pull a knife in a bar fight and just kill me because I just didn't want to be in a wheelchair. And unfortunately for me at that time, I was in severe depression because I've had depression my whole life. I met a girl who stabilized my life, and I'm very, very blessed to have her come into my life and stabilize my life because I was so out of control. And she did that for me, and I thanked her in my book for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Did you ever once think, or maybe more than once, Scott, why is this happening to me? Why me?
Many times. Ultimately, a friend of mine said, it's because you're God's warrior. I mean, God gives his greatest set of challenges to his greatest warriors. And he said he firmly believes that I'm meant to help other people through their struggles. This is why I have to have it myself. Mm-hmm. So.
Mm-hmm. So when you had, and let me ask you, you had depression, or you still are going through depression now?
Oh, still, I mean, I'll have depression the rest of my life. Yeah, I take Prosteak every morning, and it stabilizes me, and I'll get too high or too low, and it works pretty well.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So at one particular point, though, you wanted to end it. You actually tried to take your own life with pills, correct?
That's correct, yes. I took probably over 100 pills. We were in California on vacation, and med planned it for a while. And I was in a severe depression that time with my ex-wife, was having problems with her and all my health issues and so forth. And I was very, very fortunate. The paramedics were, well, first of all, my dog saved my life. He actually woke up my ex-wife, and they called the ambulance. And unfortunately for me, the ambulance was right around the corner, and they pumped me full of charcoal, and the pills didn't dissipate. So they actually weren't able to dissolve, and it saved my life. So.
Wow, that's something. Yeah. Having so many things happen to you, issues and all that, how are you with trusting people? Do you trust people easily?
Not easily. I mean, once I get to know them, obviously I do. But I just I'm not as trustworthy as I used to be because, obviously we've all had people come in and out of our lives, and it's for a reason. But sometimes one of your greatest friends could be one of your biggest adversaries. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, the picture we're going to show of you when you were much younger, how old were you in this picture when you were younger?
I was actually 35 years old. I was actually director of business development and marketing for my stepdad's company in Las Vegas, Chrisy Builders. And it was a great job. I really enjoyed it. And I had my real estate license at that time, sold real estate on the side. So I've done a little bit of this and a little bit of that right through my life. So,
Have people come back to you and told you that you have changed their lives by what you've gone through, your story, you being a role model? Have people come back and said to you, Scott, you know what? I learned from you and you really made a difference.
yeah, actually, I see people at the gym because I work out quite a bit. And people come up to me and they say, you're amazing. We would never know you're ill. You've had all the health problems. Because one, you don't complain. Two, you look amazing. And three, you're a model person to actually emulate. So, yeah, people at the gym, people in church, people I run into around town. About 15 years ago, I guess now. Yeah, I was about 40, so 13 years. I had some people come up to me at the gym in Las Vegas, and they asked me if I want to get into politics. And it was a very, very fluent gym, doctors, lawyers, and those sort of things. So they were very, very the who's who of Las Vegas that were asking me. And I asked them at that time, I said, why would you consider me? I just never thought of it before. And they said, well, you're a decent-looking guy, you're very articulate, and you're a good person, and everybody likes you. So I said, well, that's quite a compliment. I really appreciate it, but I just at this time I don't think it's a good path for me to follow right now. So.
Yeah, politics is something people have actually asked me the same thing about
Yeah.
going into politics.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No,
it's not for me.
exactly.
I can help people in other ways.
Exactly.
And I want to do things for people in other ways. I do. So back to when you tried to take your own life, because I've done programs in the past, many over the years, on suicide prevention.
Sure.
And on my radio program, I'm always promoting suicide prevention. When they saved your life and you were back,
Yeah.
what was that like? What did you feel like? Were you upset that it didn't go through, or?
A little bit of both. I'm like, well, I still have all these challenges. Nothing changed. And then I hurt my family and obviously my ex-wife and a lot of my friends and stuff. So it was a dumb thing to do. I was actually screaming for help because I actually had an infection in my throat that was misdiagnosed. And after I did the stupid act, it was actually detected. He's not crazy. He's not a hypochondriac. He did really have an infection in his throat. So it was kind of a scream for help as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, did you actually die?
Not at that time. No, I've almost died 12 times in my life. I talked about it in my book. Just this last surgery in my Las Vegas in 2021, my heart stopped twice, once for 3 minutes and once for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you actually died.
I don't know. My heart stopped. So, I mean,
Heart
yeah.
stopped.
Yeah. And
Did you see anything? You hear people talk about walking into a light or seeing other
No,
people
I wish
who have already
Yeah.
died. Did any of that happen to you?
No, unfortunately, no. I just wish that had happened because it'd be an amazing experience. But no, it was just dark and just very distant. So,
Okay. The name of Scott's book is called Surviving Las Vegas. Surviving Las Vegas. And you can get a copy. He's right here in the studio with me today, but he's getting ready to go back to Las Vegas, y'all. Where can you get the book?
once again, the book is on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and also Walmart.com. Those three sources.
Okay. Wow. So let me ask you this. You lost vision in your right eye.
Yes, initially when you get diagnosed, that's generally one of the main reasons why people get diagnosed, because of vision problems. So when I was 27, my right eye was actually hurting for a few weeks, and then my vision started getting distorted. So I actually, at the end of the 2 weeks, my vision had totally gone, and also I was getting such pain. It was so painful that I called my parents and I said, look, I've been telling you about this for about a few weeks now, and you probably didn't think it was serious. Well, it is very serious, and I'm going to the hospital. So they made me to the hospital. So.
Wow. Did someone do the forward on your book?
Yep.
Who did that?
Jim Stovall, he's a good friend of mine in Oklahoma City. He's a very powerful man and a great man. Jim Stovall is my mentor. And he actually did the forward for my book, so I'm very thankful that he did that. Very nice of him.
And he's still in
Oklahoma City.
He's in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Okay. Gee,
He's got his own movie company, his own Christian radio station, worldwide motivational speaker. He's done like 60 books and 15 movies.
Speaking of movies, this is what the next step for you is. I know you're writing another book, a second book.
Yep.
You're writing that now, currently.
Yes.
But this is what your plans and intentions are, your goals and your dreams, which all can happen because nothing's impossible.
True.
This book, Surviving Las Vegas, will become a movie.
Yes, that's ultimately the goal. I have a deal with, I've talked to, probably, to be honest, with 7 or 8 movie producers the last 4 or 5 years, 3 or 4 of them in Las Vegas. Indie Films was big. They're really, really interested in my story. But there's another movie producer that I have a deal with. If I can get on the top 20 bestseller list with my book, then they'll do the movie on my life. So that's the deal we have in place. So.
Right. And I know when we were doing show prep, because I've done show prep with Scott a few times, and I know you told me something that I thought about afterwards, and I'm like, I definitely have to ask him about this. You have all of your intestines are gone?
Yep.
Explain.
Well, initially, remember I told you when I was 23, I had all my colon removed, and they did ileoanal pull-through, and that surgery in my large intestine. When I was 40, that was one of the reasons why I tried to kill myself, is that UCLA saved my life. They took out the rest of my intestine and gave me a colostomy bag for the rest of my life. So it was I told you before on the phone, I'm a very, very challenging person. I love challenges, but I'm a very competitive person as well. So it doesn't matter if I'm playing baseball, football, basketball, fighting, playing chess, anything in life. I'm very competitive. But when a disease beats you after 20 years, it was very hard for me to swallow because I'm so competitive.
Wow, that's something. I know when we were talking too on the phone, you told me that you went to school. Now, dig this, viewers, dig this. He went to school with Jimmy Kimball, y'all. Yeah.
Yeah,
What was he like?
We went to Clark High School. I graduated in 88. He graduated in 87. He's a year older than me. I didn't know him very well. He's very, very quiet. A lot of the friends actually that work for him today are still from high school. You know, Cleo, the band, was one of his best friends in high school.
Isn't that
and he's a great guy. 100 family and friends work for him. Yeah. But ultimately, that's my goal someday, is to be on his show. So that would be a dream come true.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you can. It can happen.
I know.
He seems like he's another person that's very just open and giving. And I even mentioned to you about Jimmy Fallon.
Yep.
And then I had said to you about ABC, getting on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, those stations, because your story is it's incredible and it's remarkable.
Thank you.
And it's very interesting. And you can make people understand that hope with God and faith with God and trusting in God is nothing that you can't conquer. You are a living example and proof right here, sitting alive, talking about what you went through, but you're still here to talk about it.
I can still walk. I can still do everything pretty much. So I'm very, very blessed. I really am. It's 50% me, 50% God. So, but yeah, it's been an amazing journey. Life's a journey, and every challenge you have sets you up for more challenges down the road, more chapters of your life.
Yes.
So I wouldn't change my life for anything. As difficult as my life has been sometimes, I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yes, yes. So then when you wrote the first book, the first one, Surviving Las Vegas, how did you do that? Did you do that on a computer or on an iPad, or did you write it out? How did you do it?
I actually wrote most of the book on a computer, but I also got a program called Otter, Otter, for anyone that's out there that is a new writer. It actually, if you talk into your phone, it actually records and types actually what you're recording. So in case you're not near a computer and you have an idea, or you're out and about in public and you have a thought process for a story or something you want to add to your book, the Otter was very, very helpful.
Will you repeat that and tell the viewers that again?
It's called Otter, OTTER.com. It's free, and it's an amazing platform for new writers or beginning writers that are actually starting to write. It helped me out quite a bit. Yeah.
Wow, that's something. Amazing,
Thanks.
Amazing. Gee whiz. You know, I started this television show in 1978.
Oh, wow.
I've been around doing this for a very, very long time, and I always was so particular about who I would have as guests, because I always wanted people to be inspired and informed and educated and even entertained. And when I heard your story, it just made me think to myself, this story has to be put out there more, out in the public. And all the people that watch me and follow me, and everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. You are about to blow up, man. You're getting ready to, I'm telling you, I'm saying it and I'm speaking it, and I'm not just saying it.
Said it.
You are about to blow up.
Yep.
You were about to blow up.
And I had a News 3 in Las Vegas interviewed me with Dana Wagner before I came here about my journey with my dad. I hadn't seen my dad in 50 years. And my grandmother, I don't remember meeting. She's 99, and 5 brothers and sisters I've never met. So the journey coming here to find out I had a whole life that I never even knew about has been amazing as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Your grandmother, I see a different expression on your face when you speak of her. Talk some more about her.
I love her to that, so I might be a little biased here, but she's the most amazing lady I've ever met in my life. She's funny, she's sarcastic, she jokes around, she's highly intelligent, she's a good person. She has a smile on her face. Every time we see her, she never complains, always has a smile on her face, and is always very, very thoughtful and nice. Sweet lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't think more highly of her. I really love her a lot.
Yes. Wow, beautiful. So now when you were living in Las Vegas, it's coming to my mind, I wanted to just ask you, you were living there with who?
With my stepdad and my mother, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I see.
Yeah.
And here in Glens Falls is
my temporary home. I'm going back, so yeah.
And this is your biological father and
my 5 half brothers and sisters and my grandmother.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
And 2 of them I told you before were African American, which is
that's
kind of cool. It's pretty cool.
I know that's something.
Yeah.
Wow, that is something. I just want to just stop and take a minute just to say hello to everybody out there who has been following me and watching me, and I know that you're going to also take Scott under your wing, and I want to say hi to G and all of our friends in Albany too, all of our good friends over there. We want to say hello to them. So this is just about to wind up part 1. You know, the greatest honor is in serving others.
True.
To me, that's the greatest honor that we could do.
I agree.
Serving others, loving one another. Do you feel that you writing this book, Surviving Las Vegas, is actually being a servant?
Yes. I'm God's warrior. I'm God's servant. I just think that I've never been money driven, to be honest. Whether we do the movie or I build an empire, I'm going to give most of it away, to be honest. I just want to help people and give back. And I think that's more enjoyable for me. I've always been a very selfless person. Like, I will give everybody everything and have nothing. And you got to be careful who you do that to, obviously. But I just think that, yes, this book's helped a lot of people. People come up to me and they thank me for writing the book. So.
You haven't come up with a title for the second one quite yet?
Not quite yet. I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know.
Thank you.
Wow, that's something. And would you like to publicly, Scott, thank anyone while you're here? Publicly. It could be anyone anywhere. Who do you want to thank?
Well, first of all, I want to thank God. I mean, without him, I'm nothing. But also the doctors in Las Vegas, Dr. Tamara Beagley. She's my own natural doctor. She's changed my life. She's amazing. Dr. Davis in Las Vegas did my 2 last surgeries, and he saved my life as well. Unfortunately, my ex-wife, which was my current wife, is now my ex-wife, Echo Giuliani. I'm still very grateful for her. She took good care of me when we were married, and she actually saved my life a few times. And I've got really good friends, Greg Moon, Vince Shetler, and Duran Baton. And obviously, I want to thank my dad, Chris Osborne, who's here, and all my friends and family. So.
And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming, and I can't wait for us to do part 2. Keep writing. You've probably got many, many books inside of you.
I have 4 or 5 ideas, and a couple of TV shows.
And some TV shows, yes. So I can imagine. And I just want to stay in touch with you. That's all I ask. Just keep me in the loop of what happens with you, because I'll be praying for you.
Thank you.
And I mean that. And thank you for being who you are.
Well, thank you for the opportunity for having me come today. I really appreciate it. I really do.
And I'm so glad that you're still with us.
Thank you. As am I.
Surviving Las Vegas. Thank you so much for watching. The author's been with me, and he'll come again. I love you all. God bless you. And thank you so much for watching.